1.9 at fucking 12:30. Then he got more difficult, but on his way up, I bet he was just like, hey, great to be here. Fucking, he was Jay Leno, somewhat. Like, meeting the affiliates, all that shit, and then eventually you just get like, oh.
If I yell for Argentinian food, they'll actually bring it.
Yeah, exactly. If I bang, yes.
I wanted fucking fish and chips.
Yes.
Sorry, Dave.
Yeah, sorry, Dave. And then that's like, and then comics go, yeah, he's a fucking maverick. He doesn't take shit from anybody. He's fucking Holden Caulfield, and he's fucking out there in the world. And if I don't act like that, I'm a phony. Kevin thinks that, like, you're a phony if you don't dump your personality at people's feet. And it's like, dude, there are people, let's say we're all relatively in the same level of talent. I'd rather have somebody that's not negative next to me. I don't want negative energy. And I had this talk with Patrice as well. Like, I was doing a pilot, and I wanted Patrice to be in it. Me and Dove Davidoff and Patrice, and we wanted Patrice to be in it. And so I called Patrice, and I go, are you going to be a dick? And he's like, Neal, nigga, how the fuck are you going to call me, ask me if I can be a dick? Motherfucker, we haven't talked in 2 years, all this shit. And then we yell at each other. I wish I'd recorded it, because it was just two fucking guys that love arguing. 2 hours later, he goes, you know what? I can't promise you I'm not going to be a dick. He's like, I can't promise. And I go, yeah. I was like, Patrice, you can be a street legend all you want. You want to be the man-a-goat? You want to be the goat?
Do you want to be Rucker Park?
Yeah. Do you want to be great in the Rucker, but you can't play fucking big organized ball? You want to be Skip to Malou and fucking choke coaches and all that
Escalade!
shit? Yeah.
Escalade!
Yeah. You want to be the fucking professor?
Or do you want to be Pooh Richardson?
Yeah. Or do you want to be a guy
a year for being Menza Menza?
Yeah, exactly. Or you can fucking make it in the league. And also, you have to you have to believe when you're being just a decent human being, that you're not a bitch for being it, because you want to be a real dickhead. You want to be Holden Caulfield, and you're a phony. But look, man, we're all phonies somewhat in a public setting.
Let's all sell out together.
Yes.
In relatively the same period of time, let's all go up a couple notches.
Let's not embarrass ourselves.
Seinfeld and Larry David went up at the same time. You know, they brought a little crew with them. And
people, I bet comics think Larry David is like his character in Curb, where it's like, I won't do that. You know, the story about Larry David, he went on stage, saw the audience was like, fuck you guys, and left. He just didn't like the audience one night at the Improv, saw him and goes, forget this, and walked out. And comics probably think that's how you can be. Meanwhile, Larry David, from what I gather, is a very sweet guy, and I'm sure he's a very professional guy. So being professional is not being a bitch. So I have this argument with Patrice, calls me back a couple months later and goes, you know what, man? You were dead right. I did a pilot. Some kid came in. He was funny, but he was just giving me energy. And I knew, he's like, when it's your shit, you don't want negative energy around, because it's so hard to get your fucking idea across. And then you got this motherfucker who you know is sort of like, about your shit, and you just don't want it around, no matter how talented they are.
Right.
It's like, Patrice auditioned for Everybody Hates Chris, and Rock said, like, dude, you are my dad. But I just don't, you're just not prepared. Like, he just wasn't, he just kind of half-assed it and was a shitty.
He turned down The Office because he said, and I quote, I don't know, man, I just pictured being on set and fucking BJ Novak looking at me. That's it.
Absolutely.
That's the entire quote. Not BJ Novak, who I have a problem with because he called me something and him and I butt heads creatively.
I hate the idea of BJ Novak getting successful in this show. I don't even want to be on the same property.
And I had to explain to Patrice, I said, you're the unicorn. You're the guy that can leave and do stand-up. You're the anomaly. They're actors, and they wish they could do what you do. And he goes, I don't know, maybe you're right.
Yeah.
We have to talk about Chappelle Show.
Yeah. I'd rather not. No, that's when people go, hey, do you mind if we talk about it? I'm like, do I mind? What else? What else do you want to talk? It's like, so you flew one of the planes on 9/11. Do you mind talking about it? No, I'll go ahead and talk about it.
You know, I'm doing a lot of work with boxer rescues.
No, exactly. Well, that's what I'm
saying. We're saving Great Danes.
That's what I say. Like when people, it's like, please don't call me Bobby, call me Robert. It's like, Chappelle Show. It's significant. It's what people are interested in.
Well, then I'm glad I said we have to instead of may we.
Yeah.
What the fuck happened?
I
mean, there, I'll just lay it at your feet.
It was a good time, and then it just got a little hot.
Was it? All right, I understand. There's still moving pieces in play.
Right.
Was there an environment Is Dave, when you know everything that you know, and
Right.
you and Dave being best friends, is Dave a sympathetic character in this, or is Dave a guy that kind of short-circuited and went eep, op, and just fucking split? Or is it somewhere, is it a shade of gray?
Yeah, it's definitely gray.
Because for $50 million, I would do Joan Knows Best, and I would play Melissa Rivers.
Folks, let me put this in perspective.
Folks, let me tell you something. 50 million, you're a wonderful audience. Certainly a lovely old lunch crowd. Oh, I come out first.
I don't, there's times when I understand, and then there's times when I am really get really pissed at him. Not way less so now. Now we're just like, it's basically normalized.
Was it something? Was it a network? Was it something?
No, it was not a network. It was.
So it wasn't
the
like the network.
We were the golden goose, man. Like there was no all that stuff. When people go, Comedy Central shut you guys down, I was like, look at what they fucking their shows. The only shows they make money on are South Park, The Daily Show, and Colbert, which are the three most anti-authoritarian shows in the history of television. So the idea that they were somehow shutting us down,
I was told by Doug Herzog that he called Barry Catt. Doug said, "I have a $50 million check on my desk. I just need you to get him here to pick it up."
Barry wasn't his manager.
Well, that's where the fucking giant speed bump in the chain of
Maybe
communication.
That was the problem. You called the wrong guy.
All right. So that's one giant piece of the puzzle cleared up. It wasn't the network all of a sudden
no meddling.
Like, hey, here are your new writers, and you dance for us, asshole.
After the sixth episode of us going, let's just show it to the audience. After we did a real world sketch that they had said beforehand was a scene of a collection of unfunny scenes back to back, and then it just destroyed. And I got in someone's face, and she was like, "Get away from me!" Because I was like, "Fucking heard what you said about that fucking sketch."
And you can thank me for getting over on that lady.
Yeah.
See?
So thank you for showing me that. And then after that, they said, "We don't understand your show, so you can pretty much do whatever you want." It's like
the Gene Domanian SNL years, or whoever it was, with Christopher Guest and Martin Short. Imagine pitching Ed Grimley at a table.
Yeah.
Like, then I'm going to have my hair like this, and I'm going to go, "Oh, I love Pat Sajak.
Yeah.
I must say."
Yeah.
They'd go, "Well, there's no jokes."
Yeah.
"No, I'm going to wear a funny shirt, and I'll pull my pants up."
I love Pat
"Oh,
Sajak.
I must say."
Yeah.
Like, you never get it on.
They said, like, we didn't, they would read
you were the
scripts,
Ed
but
Grimley
after, they just would go, like, we were getting laughs, and they would say, this is a collection of unfunny scenes back to back, and then watch it kill. And literally, they just go, okay, we don't understand. Like, they wanted us to cut the blind white supremacist in half because SNL sketches were too long. They didn't understand that SNL sketches are all on one set, and that's why they seem long. If you're cutting to different locations and you have a narrative, then it's a different game. So, but having said that, to their credit, they apologized at the end of the first season.
So they're kind of the good guy.
Who?
The network.
Oh yeah, Chappelle actually said a couple weeks ago, like, they were good. And then he caught himself and was like, oh, well, no, they weren't.
So what happens between, what season was it all over?
After season 2.
So what happened? I know his father passed away, and then you give a guy...
No, his father passed away in 99. We didn't start the show till 04.
All right, let me finish.
02.
No. So his father passed away way before...
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, 98, actually.
Because in my need to somehow file this mail of this show, this culture, this iconic, like, people from other countries eventually would have went, that's where they do, like, hot dogs, jazz, baseball, Chappelle Show.
Exactly.
It was up there.
Yeah.
Like, is it just Dave having a crisis of conscience? Is it just this thing that you still don't understand what happened?
Yeah, for lack of a better... Here's what I'll say. I'll say being a symbol, it's as a white comic, you can just kill and you're basically yourself. As a black comic, you kill and you are the representative for an entire race of people. Because white cultural understanding is so simplistic that they just go, oh, well, Chris Rock said, and then that becomes the
Flip
fucking...
Wilson's a nice guy.
Like, Spike Lee said... And so I think that it's a heavy crown to wear.
Yeah.
And I think the show went... it was like we were doing it just as like, it's the difference between like, hey, we can pop this wheelie. I'm sure we can pop this. We can fucking get over we can jump 10 buses at a time. And like, they're like, all right, here's a little bit of money. And then you do it and you're like, fucking, I knew we could fucking pop that fucking wheelie. And you're fucking proud of each other. And then once they go, here's $50 million, pop that wheelie again. And you're kind of like, it turns out a lot of popping that wheelie was about fucking the idea that you didn't think we could.
Right.
And then so I think that's part of from being in show business, a lot of it is, and talking earlier about headlining and having people show up, I'm way less curious about it than I was 3 months ago. Now it'll be more, now now I feel like I can do it. And now it'll just be about like, well, I just want to get the numbers and I want to get my cut of the door. It's not like this. It's not so much a vision quest where it's like, I'm this guy.
I gotta fight.
Everybody counted me out.
I gotta wrestle shoot.
Yeah. I'm gonna fucking go into these towns. I'm gonna do radio. I'm gonna overestimate. They're gonna underestimate me. I'm gonna crush the radio. And then it stops being a narrative in your mind of overcoming the odds, and it just becomes like, you're an industry. And it's like, I used to make fun of that idea. Like if Most was in a sketch, if Most and Dave did a scene together, I'd come out at the end and go, guys, great scene. Look, Hollywood called. They want you to play cops. Like that's the end game. Like you realize like that all this shit you realize you want all this approval from Hollywood, and then you get it and you're like, hey, Hollywood, fuck you. How about that? Like, how about I don't agree with your value system. I don't agree with most of what you make. I think most of what you make is shitty. I don't think you like this.
Well, then why not continue making what's good to counterbalance when you realize how shitty Hollywood is and you finally got accepted into that club and you realize this club sucks. Why am I in it? Why not go, you know what? I'm going to keep fucking grinding out. You guys were bigger than MASH. Like, why not keep doing this great product to shove it in Hollywood's face for doubting you in the first place on the wheelie?
Because
just do wheelies just go to school on a wheelie.
Just 24/7 wheelie.
Yes, that's what that is what I'm saying.
Because it's less fun when it's expected of you.
Well, sure.
I mean, again, dude, I wanted to keep doing the show. I'm just trying to contextualize it.
You don't say.
Yeah, like, that's what yeah, exactly. I was happy to do the show, but there was also, there's a lot of personal shit, and but that's the sort of the answer. It's just like, it's less.
It's a non-answer, though.
Yes, it is a non-answer.
And that
it ultimately is a non-answer because.
And is that what you get from Dave as a non-answer?
Look, I have my.
No, you look.
I have.
Sorry.
I have like it's not a non-answer. It's like it's way less fun to do something when it's expected of you than it is when it's not expected, and you do you do it. It's like it'll be way less fun to be Tim Tebow next year than it was this year.
Yeah, because it'll be called Brady Quinn.
Folks. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's way less fun. That's part of.
Yes, however,
the truth is, it's a portfolio of reasons. It's a cocktail of reasons. That's one of them. You don't have enough fucking megabytes on here for me to tell the whole.
To the listener,
it is a long ass.
All right, but to the listener listening to this podcast, there's 250,000 people right now going, "Who gives a fuck? You guys had it made." Not you, but I mean, you're not the one that said, fuck this.
The thing is, it's like, that's part of, part of Dave's appeal is like, you look at him and go, yeah, this guy could fucking go to Africa at any point. Whether you realize it or not, part of what's appealing is like, oh, he's playing by a different set of rules.
So he truly is the fucking like 60s mentality. Like, fight the system, do it my way or the highway, and now I'm good. I'm tapping out. Like
in some ways, yeah. Like that Bill. You see that Bill Withers documentary?
No.
Called Still Bill. The minute I saw it, I was like, I texted Chappelle like, have you seen this, Bill? You would really love it. And he goes, oh, I own it, and I love it. It's just about like he had a bunch of hit songs, and then he was just like, I don't really want to. Oh, the other thing is you can't discount. Dave made a lot of money.
Did Dave really just not want to do it anymore? Do you think Dave on his farm in Ohio was going, you know, if I was still in the game, I would be pitching this, I'd be pitching that, I'd probably be doing this movie.
I think Dave on his farm, first of all, he spent a lot of time in New York and the Bay and out here, so it's like this idea of Dave on a tractor is a bit
I love
overstated.
my tractor, man.
It's a bit. So I call Patrice and I go, "Are you going to be a dick?" And he's like, "Neal, nigga, how the fuck are you going to call me, ask me if I can be a dick? Motherfucker, we haven't talked in 2 years, all this shit." And then we yell at each other. I wish I'd recorded it because it was just two fucking guys that love arguing. 2 hours later, he goes, "You know what? I can't promise you I'm not going to be a dick." He's like, "I can't promise." And I go, "Yeah." I was like, "Patrice, you can be a street legend all you want. You want to be the mana goat? You want to be the goat?
Do you want to be Rucker Park?
Yeah. Do you want to be great in the Rucker, but you can't play fucking big organized ball? You want to be Skip to Malou and fucking choke coaches and all that
Escalade!
shit? Yeah.
Escalade!
Yeah. You want to be the fucking professor?
Or do you want to be Pooh Richardson?
Yeah. Or do you want to be a guy
a year for being Menza?
Yeah, exactly. Or you can fucking make it in the league. And also, you have to
Malou.
Yeah, you have to believe when you're being just a decent human being, that you're not a bitch for being it because you want to be a real dickhead. You want to be Holden Caulfield and you're a phony. But look, man, we're all phonies somewhat in a public setting.
And let's all sell out together.
Yes.
In relatively the same period of time, let's all go up a couple notches.
Let's not embarrass ourselves.
Seinfeld and Larry David went up at the same time. You know, they brought a little crew with them.
Yeah. And people, I bet comics think Larry David is like his character in Curb, where it's like, I won't do that. You know, the story about Larry David, he went on stage, saw the audience was like, fuck you guys, and left. He just didn't like the audience one night at the Improv, saw him and goes, forget this, and walked out. And comics probably think but he's fucking Holden Caulfield, and he's fucking out there in the world. And if I don't act like that, I'm a phony. Kevin thinks that, like, you're a phony if you don't dump your personality at people's feet. And it's like, dude, there are people, let's say we're all relatively in the same level of talent. I'd rather have somebody that's not negative next to me. I don't want negative energy. And I had this talk with Patrice as well. Like, I was doing a pilot, and I wanted Patrice to be in it. Me and Dov Davidoff and Patrice, and we wanted Patrice to be in it. And it's 1.9 at fucking 12:30. Then he got more difficult. But on his way up, I bet he was just like, hey, great to be here. Fucking, he was Jay Leno, somewhat. Like, meeting the affiliates, all that shit. And then eventually you just get like, oh.
If I yell for Argentinian food, they'll actually bring it.
Yeah, exactly. If I bang, yes.
I wanted fucking fish and chips.
Yes.
Sorry, Dave.
Yeah, sorry, Dave. And then that's like, and then comics go, yeah, he's a fucking maverick. He doesn't take shit from anybody.